Today we're talking with Michael Uadiale, the founder of SMEED CPA and one of the nation's foremost experts on taxes, how you can reduce your tax bill. He's going to talk through a number of the strategies that you can use to minimize your taxes. Make sure you stay tuned to the end so that you can download my free resource that outlines the steps that he talks about today. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of our pro tips on building your wealth and reducing your taxes. Let's talk with Michael.
Investing Secrets with Kevin Attride.
Okay, Michael, knowing that this is not individualized guidance, this is about education, but you're telling your clients a number of things, and I'm interested to peek behind the curtain. Tell us, what type of guidance are you providing to your clients in these economic times?
So even though the economic times are uncertain, the fundamentals will never change. The fundamentals of how to grow your wealth will never change. So really, on a very practical standpoint, I am saying to clients, there must be a level of focus and intentionality on how you want to grow your wealth. Believe it or not, unfortunately for us in the United States, most people, maybe up to 95% of people, spend more time on how to plan their 2 weeks vacation than how they plan their life finances. I mean, it's a tragedy on how we live. So more importantly, in times like these, we all cannot afford to continue to just live life day to day. So the need to be very intentional on how you devise your wealth strategy is a key. And so one of the things we're saying to our clients is you need to look inward to yourself and determine for yourself what truly are your natural inclination, meaning how do you really approach life? What are your strengths by reason of how you are naturally wired? And then you try to align that natural inclination to the things that you are passionate about. That's all what wealth strategy is all about. Because when you truly align your personality to the things you are passionate about, it becomes less challenging to achieve success. So once you put in place for yourself a good wealth strategy and you are our clients, then we take it to the next level. And that means we take your wealth strategy and we kind of take a look at it and say, what is the best tax strategy that we can weave around your wealth strategy? Because when we are able to align your tax strategy with your wealth strategy, then it's allowing you to leverage the rules of the game and bring you to a place of success faster than most people are. And so that's why when we look at what we do, we always say our goal is to shrink the model. For most people, they have been brainwashed. They've been kind of mind controlled to believing you got to put 35 years and above into the work life to be able to come to a place where you get into your 60, 65, and you are not able to pinch pennies to retire and live for the next 20, 25 years. What we do in the Financial Freedom Academy is to flip that model. And flipping that model means we work with you to actively build your wealth between a 7 to 10 year period. So that allows you more time, 30 years and above, to be able to really live your legacy. So in doing those things, meaning aligning your wealth strategy with your tax strategy, you speed up reaching that goal of financial freedom faster than most people will.
That's very helpful. Go deeper, though. What additional things of types of assets? Obviously, you said every person has their own wealth building strategy. What are some successful things that you see your successful clients implementing?
The way we look at wealth, for example, we believe that wealth will be broken down into 4 broad categories, meaning whatever you do in this world, as long as it's a legal business activity, it's either going to fall into the real estate industry or fall into paper trading, or fall into commodity trading, or fall into just operating a business. Now, those are the 4 broad categories. Now, when you look at those 4 broad categories and you begin to get granular, you will find that, yes, many of those categories do not all have the same level of incentives, if you want to put it that way. when it comes to taxes. Because again, like I said earlier, one of the cardinal things any investor must really master for themselves is taxes. So if you look at those four broad categories, sometimes businesses and real estate tend to lend themselves more to better tax incentives than the other two. So you got to always say for yourself, am I able to operate in those areas of the economy that seems to lend themselves to better tax incentives? And if the answer is yes, then you truly want to dive into one of those areas that aligns with your passion. Again, operating or reducing your taxes is a huge part of that process. And that's where it's important to work with a tax advisory firm that truly knows how to reduce your taxes in a legal manner. Because if you understand how the code works, then you can truly make it play to your advantage. The tax law is not discriminatory as to who should be able to use them.
Stop letting the commercial banks take advantage of you. Use infinite banking to compound your savings at a much higher rate by connecting with the experts at Living Wealth.
I don't know if those answers your question, but if you want me to go specifically into how to legally reduce or pay less taxes, I'm happy to kind of just talk about our firm's, what I consider our proprietary method. Now, for us as a practice, we have what we call, I did give it an acronym, which is DECIDE, decide, okay? So for us, every client that we work with on a consulting basis, we want to take them through those 6 steps in terms of ensuring that we are helping them assess where they fall into in those 6 buckets. Now, decide, for example, means the first thing is deductions. Are the clients or is this person maximizing the deductions that they can commonly take or that the law allows them to take? Now, I'll say this tragically, maybe 80 to 85% of taxpayers in the nation, they are not maximizing the deductions that the government even allows them to take. I don't know how we got here, but the reality is too many people are so afraid to take what the law has rightfully says belongs to them. So you find commonly people are not maximizing the use of home office, automobiles, meals, education and training, travel, and things like that, okay? So we want to always, first of all, look at the person's deductions and say, are they maximizing that? So that's the first D. The second thing is the E, which for us stands for elimination. Now, whether you like it or not, there are some level of income or cash flow that people can and get which are not taxable. So we love those kind of income. So being able to focus your income strategy to jet towards things that taxes are completely eliminated from is a great thing to do. The C for us stands for credits and converting the nature of your income. Now, credit is the biggest thing I can think of in these times that we are. I mean, just imagine what the government has done during this COVID era. They came up with all kinds of credit. They came up with the employee retention credit. And so many business owners truly can get up to $26,000 for each employee that they have. Okay, so you must be able to learn to know what these things are and be able to work with an advisor that knows how to get them for you. The I stands for income smoothing. Now, sometimes you will find investors we have ups and downs with income. You could be making a sale of a business or something, and in a year of sale, you make a big windfall, which could bring capital gains tax of up to 25%. Now, you don't want taxes to just eat up 25% of your income. And that's where when you work with a firm that knows how to smoothen your income, all of that money that comes to you in that 1 year as a tax event, you can smoothen it out over 3, 5, or 10 years such that your capital gains is put at the lower level. So income smoothing is an important thing. There are many ways for most people they can do that. People who have kids who can be hired in their business. It's a good strategy. The government literally is saying, yeah, you have kids, you can pay them, and they are working in your business. So those are many things that most business owners don't truly take advantage of. This fifth one is what for me is like if all else fail, I do that, which is just defer the taxes. Okay. That's where you find things like qualified plan and stuff like that comes into play. But that's not my favorite. I would rather have gone through maximizing deductions, doing elimination, doing income strategies before I start thinking of deferring taxes. Now, lastly is what we call E, which is the enhanced strategies. Now, when it comes to enhanced strategies, they are not all applicable to every level of investor, but they are more amenable to investors who have high net worth of over $1 million and above. But my God, these are really, really interesting strategies that truly can bring your taxes to zero. I know there was a time 2-3 years ago in the political arena, there was all this talk about a political candidate paying only $750. Now, I'm not here for politics. I took time one weekend to go through the tax return that was leaked, and I ended up saying to my wife, oh my God, this is the same thing we talk about every day to our clients. So why is the country making so much noise about this? The person didn't write the rule books. The rule books did not change because he became a presidential candidate. It's all about we trying to not demonize people who are tapping into what the rule says. Learning those rules, mastering them, and being able to apply them to your business truly will help you get to a place where you are legally reducing your taxes and putting more cash in your pocket.
You're likely paying way too much of your hard-earned dollars to the government. Reduce your largest expense in life by utilizing every tax-saving strategy with the experts at SMEED CPA.
You talked about the 4 buckets. Are there certain buckets that you're seeing today in our current economic climate are better buckets to invest in?
I honestly wouldn't say there are better buckets than others, okay? Because again, it's all going to be a function of your passion, your personality, and what you are naturally inclined to doing. I'll give myself as an example. I'm not a great investor with stocks and stuff like that because it requires a level of due diligence, follow through, and research that I may not be very wired to do, okay? I do a lot of great research when it comes to taxes because it's my passion. It's my passion in taxes, for example, because I love the value it brings to people. Okay, so I can dig in that area. So there is no anyone that is exceptionally better than the others. But like I said earlier, I tend to find the real estate industry and I tend to find operating businesses as 2 of the 4, which seems to have a higher level of tax incentives than paper trading or commodity trading. So I have my biases for those 2, but that's me as a person. I also do know clients who are doing some mighty great and excellent work in the area of paper trading, okay? But when you are doing that, then it becomes needful to be able to say, how do we help this person minimize the taxes? Because paper trading of itself does not lend itself exclusively to some of the what you call preferential incentives that you find with business owners or real estate investors.
Finding a good real estate deal doesn't have to be hard, especially when you're working with the experts at Norada Real Estate Investments for your next turnkey rental property.
I think I want to say, and by no means I'm not trying to sell what we do as a practice, but I think one of the things any investor or business owner should truly be doing for themselves is take the time to do very sufficient due diligence, okay, on who you choose to work with from a tax advisory standpoint. I think there's so much need of education that business owners, investors need to have in how they approach taxes. My mentor will always say, if you learn to truly change your facts, you can change your taxes. Unfortunately, our profession seems to be suffering some challenges. And so most people in the profession have just become what I truly call data gatherers, meaning they gather data from the client and they just feed it into the computer and it spits out a result. My approach to a client or whoever is listening today is in trying to find a CPA, take the time to find a CPA who approaches your activity from a very consultative way. Your CPA should be asking lots of questions. Your CPA should be able to bring fresh ideas to you and be able to let you know proven strategies that can truly help you get to a place of eminent tax reduction that is connected to your wealth strategy. You want to truly find out from your CPA, how do they handle Internal Revenue Service audit? Now, we have enjoyed an extremely long tenure of zero or very low level of audit in the last 15 to 20 years. But that's going to change starting from 2022. We're going to see higher level of tax enforcement. The government has clearly indicated that they have employed, I think, about 17,000 new auditors. They've given the Internal Revenue Service a whole lot of money. Now, you don't want to have as your CPA somebody who has a fear for an Internal Revenue Service audit. Your CPA must demonstrate confidence, clarity, and certainty in terms of tax positions, so that if an IRS audit ever comes, then you know you have in your corner an advocate that can go to bat for you. And then lastly, when it comes to choosing a CPA, you want to find somebody who truly has a system of reducing taxes in a legal and ethical manner. Okay, it beats my imagination to just see how many times I look at tax returns and I wonder, why is the former tax advisor not doing A, B, C, and D? And many times when I talk to the client or prospective client, the answer that I hear is, oh, my CPA said, you don't want an audit flag. I don't know how we got there, but I think it's really important to have your CPA have a system which has been proven to help you really reduce taxes. So I think those are the things I would want to add to listeners on your audience today. It's so important to have a good tax advisor on your side. Any wealthy or any investor must have a good team. Just as it's important to have a good attorney, it's important to have a good bookkeeper, it's important to have a good insurance agent. It's so important to have a good tax advisor. So those are things you must put in the mix to help you get to where you're trying to get to.
Tell our audience how they can get a hold of you and your firm.
Our firm is, like I said, we are a virtual firm. The easiest way to get a hold of us is to send an email to us at taxes@smeedcpa.com. When you send an email to us, one of our client success team members will reach out to you and kind of try to ascertain what exactly you are seeking to achieve. And our desire is always to be of value. We are not just wanting to be a CPA to every person, because we always want to make sure that our services are most properly aligned to what a client needs.
Michael outlined a number of different strategies on what you can do to minimize your taxes. If you want to have a free guide that talks about these elements and more, I want you to click the link below so that you can get my free tax guide that leverages the strategies Michael outlined so that you can experience financial freedom.
The information contained in this episode are opinions not to be used as individual guidance. As always, consult your own financial team for your investment decisions.